For the first time under the Biden administration, illegal crossings at the southern border are on track to dip below 50,000 for the month of November. Internal data obtained by CBS News shows Border Patrol agents on average are recording a little more than 1,500 apprehensions each day this month. Despite this being a low for the Biden administration, illegal crossings overall have been high compared to the last two administrations. President-elect Donald Trump is promising to carry out mass deportations when he takes office. His incoming border czar, Tom Homan, had this advice for anyone in the U.S. illegally.
You should self-deport yourself. You should leave on your own will, because if we find you and you get ordered deportation, you got a 20-year bar. And if you choose while you're here to give birth to an illegal to a U.S. citizen child, well, guess what? When you get removed, you can leave the child here, or you can take him with you.
CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now from Eagle Pass, Texas. Camilo, could you clarify what Homan is suggesting here? How would these self-deportations work, and how many people could be affected?
Hi, Lindsay. Well, Homan here is suggesting that mixed status families, these are households that include immigrants who are in the country illegally, but also U.S. citizen children, for the most part, who are born here, have two options, have a binary choice under the second Trump administration. The parents can elect to be deported by Immigration and Customs Enforcement to their home country, or they can voluntarily return to their home country with their U.S. citizen children. The first option would, of course, entail them leaving their children here. That obviously raises a lot of questions as to who would take care of those children, whether that would be a relative, a family member who has legal status or is a U.S. citizen, or whether that child or those children have to be put in the local foster care system. That is an open question that still has to be answered. And in terms of how many people this could affect, we know that one study found that about 4 million U.S. citizen children live with at least one undocumented immigrant parent. And so there are millions of mixed status families here in the U.S. who could potentially be impacted by these mass deportations that the incoming administration is promising. But we should underscore, Lindsay, that Tom Homan and other Trump advisors have said that this massive deportation operation will initially target immigrants who are here unlawfully and who have committed serious crimes or who otherwise pose a threat to national security. And I emphasize initially, Lindsay, because the policy that Homan and others are articulating also means that no immigrant, whether they are serious criminals or people who lose their asylum cases, will be off the table in terms of being deported and arrested by ICE. And that is a dramatic policy change from current procedures.
Yeah, 4 million people impacted alone if that does come to fruition. Help us put these new border numbers into perspective. When was the last time we've seen consistent numbers like these?
Well, Lindsay, November is on track to see the lowest level in illegal immigration here at the U.S.-Mexico border since August of 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic severely and sharply reduced migration to the U.S. and to other developed countries across the world. And right now, we know that Border Patrol is on track to record fewer than 50,000 migrant apprehensions, according to internal agency data that we obtained. Just to put that in perspective, Lindsay, just in December of last year, Border Patrol recorded 250,000 migrant apprehensions, nearly 250,000 illegal crossings. So border crossings across the board have plummeted since then. And we also know that there are really two main factors for that massive and sharp reduction in illegal immigration here. The number one factor is that Mexico has continued to interdict and stop many migrants from setting foot on American soil in the first place. And we also know that the Biden administration has continued to implement this asylum policy that basically disqualifies most migrants who cross this border behind me illegally from being able to get legal protection in the U.S. And that policy has dramatically reduced the number of people who are being released into the country with notices to appear in court. And that has always been perceived to be, Lindsay, a pull factor that attracts migration to the U.S.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you.